Hello everybody, Aaron here, South Coast Detecting. You know me, that's why you're here. If you're new to the channel, hello. Now, as you know, for the past couple of years I've been out detecting around the south coast here, West Sussex, with my trusty old Garrett Ace 250. Well, I'm going to be stopping that for a while. It's going to be stopping. I've had fun. It's been great. Really enjoyed it, but the time has come to move on and use a different machine. Yes. So the Ace 250 is going to go in the shed for a little while, and instead I'm going to be using the Makro Kruzer. Now, this isn't the multi Kruzer. This is just the bog standard Kruzer of the 3-tier that you can get. You can get the normal Kruzer. You can get the multi Kruzer, which has the 3 frequency. This is a single frequency, and then you've got the Kruzer Gold, which is about a higher frequency to find the gold and bits and bobs. But yeah, this is the Makro Kruzer. So it's a single frequency, but it is still waterproof. It still has a big LCD screen. It still has wireless headphones. It still has a backlit screen. Yeah, waterproof beach mode, which is the ideal thing that I need, because obviously using the Ace 250 on the beach, I didn't have that. I had to really tweak the settings on the Ace 250 to get it to work on the beach, but not with this. This is going to help me find those targets that I've lost all those times I've been at the beach. So let's do a quick unboxing, show you what's inside the box, and then we'll get on to putting it together and just doing a bit of a test with it, a bit of a bench test, a bit of an air test. I know that air tests don't always count, you know, it's that sort of thing where obviously the ground is different mineralization depending on where you're detecting, and obviously when your target is in the soil so far down, that's going to give you a totally different reading to an air test. But it just gives you a general idea of how good the coil is and the tones and things like that. So let's get to looking at what's in the box. Yeah, let's see what you get. First of all, we've got the wireless headphones. I've seen people using these. They pair up with the machine almost instantly as soon as you turn these on and you turn the machine on. So that is brilliant. We've got wireless headphones. That's going to make a change. It really is. I'm so used to getting tangled up. We've got the double D coil with a cover also fitted, which is lovely. We like that. Also in the box, you get charging gubbins. Now this, I have already had some of this out to charge the machine so that I can use it. And there you go. You got your charger for the main unit. You've also got an adapter. You got your strap. Charger for your earphones, and then your grommets and things, your screws to attach your coil to the shaft. Grow up. Grow up. Come on, we're better than that. I only said shaft. Right. Next in the box we have, look at that, a carbon fibre lower stem. I'm going to say stem this time. Yeah, that is very light. Very light. Like that. Also, in the box we've got another section of the same. Yep, very nice. And then we've got the main unit itself. There we have it. Look at that. Lovely stuff. Now this doesn't come with the optional battery pack, which you can get, which attaches here and then screws in just here underneath. And that allows you then to run the unit off AAA batteries. In case you've got, like, maybe you've got a busy weekend, you're out weekend detecting, you've charged up your unit, you've used it all day, and then it's gone flat and you've got no way of charging it. The battery pack, which you can attach here, you can then fill with AAAs and you're good to go for your next day's detecting. Brilliant idea, very good. And I think the optional battery pack, I think is only running retail at about £30. And that's a bloody good deal. I might look at getting one of those myself. So we've got all that, and also you've got the code of conduct, which comes in the box, if you can see that. Yeah, very good, like that. We've also got what we got here, an important notice, and we've got an instruction manual. So what I'll do is I'll put all this together, and then we'll run through it, and we'll do a bit of an air test, and we'll do it in 3-tone. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube setting this machine up and doing it on 3-tone. That seems to be the most popular one. So we'll do that. We'll do an air test, and we'll see how we get on. Right, the machine is built. There you go. All done. Very, very nice. I have to say it's quite light as well. It is quite a light machine. Really nice, really nice. Nice solid construction. Got the cam locks on there, so it's good, it's sturdy. Really like it, very good. Right, I want to quickly thank Pete at Leisure Promotions for hooking me up with this. Thank you, Pete. Absolutely brilliant. Can't wait to get out and use this. If you want to check out Leisure Promotions, if you're in the market for a new machine, digger, anything like that, link will be down in the description. Let's get on and let's do some target ID with this thing. Okay, so here we are then. As you can see, I've got it on and we're ready to go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an air test, but what I'm doing is I'm doing an ID, a target ID air test. We're not talking about depth here. We're not talking about anything like that. We're just talking about the numbers, because I've never used a machine before that's had target ID numbers. So all this is new to me. So all the numbers that come up are obviously stuff I've never seen before. So, and when I use this out in the field for the first time, chances are I'm going to dig every single hole that isn't iron, because I don't know what it is. Simply don't know what it is. But more on that video later. So first of all, let me just show you what settings I'm in. I'm on, as you can see there, I'm on 3-tone. Let's start at the top here. We got a gain of 85. Discrimination 3, notch 4, Ferris volume 5, tone breaks. Now the tone breaks, I started at 15, so that'll be one particular tone. Everything up to 15 will be a low tone, and then from 15 to 70 will be a different tone, and then from 70 plus will be an even greater, brighter tone. And that's purely because the way it was set, the tones were, you know, a little too close, so I've kind of spread them out a little bit. Also, let's have a look at what else we got here. We got the tone itself. So the lower grunt is at 15. The next tone upwards is from 50, and this came from England's History, Sid, and the Searcher channel. Watching some of his videos, and he showed on there why you want to set these tones differently, because yeah, from the low grunt to the next good target, you want there to be a definite difference in the tone. You want it to be completely different. You don't want to get confused with a low grunt and a slightly lower grunt or slightly higher, you know what I mean? So you want to be low grunt, that's definitely iron. Next tone up, that's something good. So that's why I've separated the tones like that. There's a top tip there from Sid. Let's have a look what else we got on here. ISAT between 1 to 3, 0 to 3 on that. So I've gone sort of like middle for diddle, as Mud Max would say. I've gone at 1. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to be testing today a large old penny. Let's have a look. It's a George, a large old George penny. We've also got a ship half penny. We're going to do a threepenny bit, a bit of a crusty one. We've also got a 1919 silver threepence. So that's full silver. We've got a silver ring that we're going to be testing out. And then we're going to go into the poo stuff, you know, 2Ps, 1Ps, and then eventually our nemesis, the ring pull, or as they're known in America, the beaver tail. So yeah, let's test these out. Let's see what kind of target we get from these. Again, these are just targets that, you know, we're going to possibly see whilst out and about on the beach, in the fields, or what have you. So Just take my ring off there, because obviously I don't want any sort of contamination. So let's start off first of all then. I'm going to be doing roughly 5 inches, 4 or 5 inches from the coil. So this is the general targets you're going to get on the Makro Kruzer. Starting off with the old penny. It's a George, not that it matters, but it's a 1917 old penny. So there you go, nice high 70s, nice high tone. And that's the penny, that's a large George. Let's go on now to a ship half penny, 1941, George VI. Again, nice high tones, tones you would definitely dig. Now we'll go on to a Elizabeth II threepenny bit. Can't quite see the date on it, it's that crusty. Again, lovely tone, lovely tone. You'd definitely dig that, wouldn't you? Full silver, George V, 1919, threepence. Again, these are all coming up very similar high tones. I know on the Garrett, the silver comes up right at the top end. You couldn't get much higher on silver. And the pennies and everything else comes up. In fact, the threepenny bit comes up round about, I'd say round about halfway or just above halfway, the threepenny bit. And the pennies and the ship half penny come up, I'd say 3/4 up the scale. And they're still coming up that roughly on this. But the silver, I have to say the silver, let's do the silver again. That has surprised me. That really has surprised me. I expected the silver to be right at the top end somewhere. I really did. So that has surprised me. Let's do the silver ring now. Nice fat chunky silver ring I found on the beach. So that's flat, that's the silver ring flat. And now let's try it on its edge. Yeah, again, it's roughly where I'd expect it to be. Somewhere at the top end of the scale. Now, let's get on to the poo stuff, the rubbish stuff. The stuff that you're going to find it, you don't necessarily want to find it, but you're going to find it. Let's start with the 2p. 2p, here we go. The bane of my life. Look at that. A nice high 80s tone. You would dig that. You would dig that all day. All day you would dig that. So that maybe this is something I need to notch out so that I don't dig it in future. Maybe get rid of that. Let's go then for the 1p. Everyone's favourite. Again, nice high tones. You would definitely dig all these things. And let's go finally with the pull tab. It's not quite a beaver tail, but it is a pull tab nonetheless. And I'm expecting a good high tone on this. Oh! Interesting. Very interesting. So there we go. That's the ring pull again. Now, depending on how I've set up my discrimination and depending on how trashy the area is, now that I know that a pull tab is coming up at that kind of tone, yeah, I can avoid that. I can avoid that like the plague. That's very interesting. That's certainly going to help me stop digging signals like that. And finally, let's go with the gold ring. A gold ring on my pudgy finger that I can't get off. Yeah, interesting tone. Definitely one to look out for. Right, so there we go. That's a quick ID, a quick tone ID of some of the things, the most common things that I'm likely to find whilst out on the parks or on the beaches. Right, as a little side note, I'm just adding onto the targets as well, is this. This is my titanium ring that I've had for quite a while. I wear it all the time. And I've found titanium on the beach before now. I've found these sort of rings before. And it's very interesting to see what tone this gives. Have a look at this. That's a titanium ring coming up in the 30s. And the ring pull, the pull tab. So, you may want to avoid digging pull tabs, but there's every chance you could be missing out on a titanium ring. It's a tricky one. Right, that's it from me. That was the tone ID that you get on the Makro Kruzer. I'm going to be using this in the parks and at the beach in future videos, so make sure you stick around for those, stay tuned for those. I'm out tomorrow on a club dig. I've been invited out by Luke of the UKDF. There will be a link for that up here. Once I've recorded it and I've uploaded it, a little link will pop out. If it isn't there at the moment, it's because I haven't done it yet. I won't be taking this with me. Luke's got plenty of machines there that I could borrow and use, and if this is one of them, I'll give it a whirl just to see how I can get on with it and see, get used to using that machine whilst I'm out and about. Yeah, I just thought it was fascinating. Just wanted to show you some of the tone IDs, because obviously I'm coming up from an Ace 250 up to a machine like this, and the Ace 250 doesn't have any tone IDs or anything like that. Yeah, target IDs rather, sorry. But it does have bells and things and what have you. But yeah, it was just fascinating to see how this machine compares to something like that. The ring pull, very close to titanium. So if you wouldn't dig a ring pull, there's every chance you could miss titanium. So what do? I suppose you'd have to dig it, wouldn't you? But we'll see. Thank you for dropping by. If you like this, don't forget to drop a like, comment, also subscribe. If you are heading out, good luck, happy hunting, and I will see you again next time. Ta-ra.